Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 30 of Let's Play Pillars of Eternity 2, where we're getting to know our crew, because that's something we haven't done in a while, so let's keep going.
Speak your mind, Captain.
Tell me about your family.
Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots.
She exhales and glances away.
After they immigrated to Rawatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. We were also curiosities. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana thought it was hilarious.
You don't, right?
No, I don't. Can't speak for all the tribes, though. Growing up in the Ranganui's shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I leave you to judge who spent their time better.
Right, do I add a new personality to Sigram? Yeah, you know, Sigram and Idir both like animals. Hello, Ishi, who's a good bird? The bird cocks his head, his eyes reflecting a mixture of friendly recognition and murderous calculation.
Uh-oh. That's his "I'm hungry and you're wasting my time" face. Better step back, Captain.
How did you and Ishi first get acquainted?
I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the Royal Eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds.
Maya kneels and strokes under Ishi's beak.
Stink Feathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since.
Let's be off then.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
Tell me about Romaro.
Aye, sure.
He nods.
When I were a wee swabby, fresh to the sea, it worked the sea
already
be
seen
right
that bit.
poxy ore on occasion, and life aboard the Sorcerer mentored me too. Learned me letters and navigation, handed down the Prince.
Yeah, okay, we've already done all that. I'd like to ask you Principe.
Ask away, Cap.
Actually, no, we seem to have covered pretty much every topic that Seraphim has at the moment, so let's just leave him to be. We have got like another new character to talk to, and we've got to see if Alof wants to talk to us anymore. We'll start with Shoti though.
I'm all ears. Tell me what's on your mind.
How are you feeling? You suffered any recent nightmares?
They're there in my head when I sleep.
That's where nightmares normally are.
And sometimes I can taste them on the back of my tongue like a smear. I'm glad we talked.
We are. That's pretty much the same as last time. But hello, new person.
I would not have guessed I would find myself back with the Watcher of Kadnua. Much less at the order of Akanta.
I wouldn't say back, because we never met you in the first game, but her expression fluctuates between amusement and annoyance.
I heard about your arrival in Queen's Birth, but I didn't believe it until Kanta Nichese called on me. Perhaps this time will go better for both of us. You only have to ask.
Okay, so you apparently, since we apparently know her, so whatever happened with you and Manea? She took Palengia slowly turns her head in your direction, eyebrows raised, inner eyelids necessitating out and back.
Que?
You and Manea, you were together, weren't you?
Manea was a good companion and a skilled warrior. But her imagination got the better of her. It appears to have gotten the better of you as well.
She runs her fingers along a wayward feather pointing out in our direction from her wrist, pressing a flush against her skin. So, can you tell me more about what happened after we defeated Faust?
After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's bells. I failed to complete my mission and had no excuses. The Republics had lost a golden opportunity to trade with the Glanfathens, and the Dukes were furious. They exiled me from the Brotherhood, scoured the suns from my breastplate, put me on a ship to raid Ceres. Diverus, I was lucky to escape with my life. I worked as a guard. Caravans, ships, wealthy merchants. I did not discriminate. After my exile, both my purpose and my pride were gone. The years have taken me from the Eastern Reach to the Deadfire. Some would say it is fate that has brought us together again, Watcher. But you must already know what I think. It is just luck. Time will tell if it is good or ill.
What's your opinion on what's happening with Aethys?
Whatever they are up to cannot be good for any of us. At their best, the gods are powerful children. At worst, they are little more than mad beasts taking out their anger on our world.
Shirty bites at her bottom lip, beating it with blood.
I have little interest in distinguishing which type Eothas sees.
She waves the back of her hand up and down, up and up, dismissing the fort. How do you like the Deadfire so far?
Where I am assigned is of no concern to me. But I do think the Deadfire can be profitable for the Republics. If the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them.
How are you?
Good. I have no concerns, Watcher.
Right, Bailoff, come on. Time to finish your story.
Yes?
I'd like your thoughts on my search for Eothas.
One would hardly imagine that a colossus made of glowing Ardra could be so hard to find.
He shakes his head.
But then I suppose the gods wouldn't have chosen you if the task were easy.
What do you know? What do you know about the Valiant Trading Company?
Well, they seem largely competent. I would feel better about that were they not run by profiteers and animancers.
He smiles warily.
Governor Clario seemed honest and well-intentioned. So one wonders why he was stationed at such an out-of-the-way post.
He raises an eyebrow. Do you have any thoughts on the Principe?
I'd heard Deadfire had a pirate problem, but I had no idea how large it was. Or how fashionable.
You get the sense he's impressed, despite himself.
Still, the only thing more dangerous than a unified pirate nation is one at war with itself. I worry about who will be caught in their crossfire.
What do you think of the Royal Deadfire Company?
I think they're one of the most ordered and deliberate organizations I've ever seen.
Nadir nods in agreement.
And I don't entirely trust that. Not after the leaden key.
He strokes his chin. Did you ever make it back to Adir?
As a matter of fact, I did.
He brightens.
I saw my mother for the first time in years.
There's a lightness in his eyes and his posture that you've never seen before when speaking of his family. How was your mother?
She was well. She'd been living with her Thane for quite some time. I don't think she'd been to see my father since I left.
He fidgets with the hem of his garment, looking distractedly at the ground, something at the ground.
I used to blame her for her long absences. For not intervening directly with my father.
Remind me, what happened with your father?
He was an exacting man with a violent temper. One that often found its outlet in me.
His face pales a shade. So what happened with your mother?
I realized that she was torn between two demanding roles. And two demanding men.
He looks back up at you.
I used to resent her for failing to protect me. But I understand now that her absence is what allowed me to grow. Intentionally or not, she gave me the space I needed to learn a degree of independence.
It's one way of looking at it.
But not yours?
A wry smile curves his lips.
It's all right. After all, it took me quite some time to reach this understanding.
Did you see your father at all? He shakes his head, his lips pressed tightly together.
It's one thing to forgive my mother for her absence. Quite another to excuse him.
Sounds like it was a good trip then.
It was.
How are you holding up?
It's been a while since I've been able to speak candidly with anyone, especially about the leaden key. It's unexpectedly liberating.
That's all.
Hey, look who it is.
Right, there we go. We've talked with everyone, and can we see if we can talk to the...
something with a little more stabbing.
Well, we can't talk to... 1 minute. One second. Wait, no. Fucking... What's my voice? No, that's not my voice.
I'm right here.
Show me.
Aha!
I'm here.
Prowling is...
Show me.
I recognize that. I knew I recognized the voice. It's because it's a critical role voice. I knew I'd recognize it for a fucking reason. Anyway, let's get ourselves to Pococohara. And continue on with our quest. Known locations, Pococohara ruins. There we go. Actually, how are we doing on goods? Like, that's H. We've got quite a bit of lager left. We've got quite a lot of fruit still. So, I mean, if we run out of food, I mean, we shouldn't run out of food. We've got enough. I think we've got enough stuff. I'm actually gonna put lager. Actually, yeah, we put ale first because we don't actually need to improve our thing anymore. So. Heavy clouds darken the horizon. The dark clouds darken in the distance, piling one atop the next, as if in battle for superiority. A vision searing thread of lightning forks between the sea and sky, followed almost immediately by a rib-rattling clash of thunder. Irina eyes the storm and spits. I wish this ship had a boatswain. There's no one better to have when you're in a storm. Your crew looks to you. Your orders? On the crew duties. Boodle, take this line and lash yourself to the wheel. I don't want you going overboard. With a grimace, Boodle accepts the rope and begins looping around the spokes of the wheel and his own belt. Yeah, hand out the last cooked food, Maya, and then put out any fires in the galley. She salutes. Understood, Captain. The crew will be glad to have a warm meal before we dive into this mess. And assign deckhand duties. Everyone into the rigging. We need to reef the sails. The crew ascends to the rigging, pulling lines and tying off the sails, diminishing the amount of fabric facing the wind before returning to the deck. That's enough for now. Ask Companion's aid. Seraphim, I'm going to need you by my side here. The Orlan grins. Aye, Cap. I'll be letting you know if you do anything too hollow-headed. The crew could use a sermon, Jyoti. If you're inclined, give them comfort. You want me to pray to an aspect of death? Jyoti's lips quirk in amusement. I suppose I can plead for the safe passage of our souls through hell, should we all perish shortly. After a nod, she bows her head. Gains some morale. Glory to the many aspects of Earfist, greatest of all who is born. I raise my voice to you in humility, thankfulness, and everlasting worship. Hear me, my God, and take pity on my dire plea. As we now sail through the dark storms of death, we will not fear the reaping to come. For your lantern will guide our way. We will not stumble or stray from the path you have laid through hell. We will embrace the end of our lives and shuck the rotting husk of our fallen bodies. After whence we will be planted for rebirth by your hand. Forever and always as the wheel turns. Amen. Be prepared as we're going to be. Take us in. The clouds sweep over you, dominating the sky and hemming the sea beneath a roiling grey dome. The rain drums against the deck. Sweat beads on Doyle's brow as the storm looms ever closer. We can't run this one, Cap. The ship rocks intermittently and unpredictably, and soon the crew clutch their heads or gut, bent double over buckets, squeezed tight between their knees. The year-filled grog scent of their sick thickens into the air. Physically reduce their nausea. Yeah, we'll do that. Eyes closed, Seraphim concentrate on the crew. Soon Marina's take to their feet again, the sickness no longer weighing on them. The storm rages on, and showing no signs of subsiding. The wind's calm, but the rain pours from the skies as if the Defiant had come to rest beneath a waterfall. Rainwater sloshes about the deck and under the rails. Onto the post, we're holding course, we're heaving to. Lashed in place, they're about to one another, and the crew goes below deck. This takes the crew. All hands to the post, we're holding course. Hats and cloaks turned against the rain, the crew guide the Defiant through the unending downpour. The storm rages on, showing no sign of subsiding. Water rises in the distance, a gargantuan swell that bends the sea around it. It bears down on you, gods alive, a hand mutters. Ability, break through the wave with magic. Use that. Bracing yourself at the bow, you stare into the rising wall of water as you chant, calling on the essence around you and giving it form. The spell rages outwards, shaking the deck and steering away the forward ringing. It tears into the front of the wave, ploughing a liquid chasm through the swell. As the Defiant sails through, the water flows behind it, in a thunderous roar. The storm rages on, showing no signs of subsiding. The wind's calm, but the rain pours from the sky from the Defiant has come to rest beneath a waterfall. So all hands to the post, holding course. The storm clouds roil above you, the sea boils below. and everything in between disappears into a velvet bulge of rain. Shield sits daily, grips the rigging, shouting, "God's alive, Captain!" Andre's in a fury. The deck box beneath your feet as the tempest tosses its vine about. Answer the post, holding course. Waves rise and break over the rails, sending water cascading across the decks. Sailors shout orders to one another, clinging to the rigging for their lives as you cut your way through the storm. As if exhausted, the clouds finally calm, coming to rest like a thick blanket across the sky. The waves, too, end their trembling complaint, and the Defiant finally sails easily. The crew lean against the rails and rigging, their faces haggard but relieved. The storm, it seems, has passed. Nothing like gaining a rank through sailing a storm. Now, there was a reason, obviously, I did that, because I wanted to just show you guys what it was like. And obviously, look at that. We're basically leveled up. And there's the Pokakahara ruins, and I believe the... Yeah, there it is. There's the berth. But yeah, that was... fucking hell, that was awesome. I must admit, I've never actually done that event before, so... But I wanted to know what it did, but I kind of expected it to be like Sid Meier's, where it's just... You just get damaged going through it. I didn't expect that badass chain of events. But we're going to go to this shrine. You notice a small pavilion containing a large weathered statue of stone a little ways off the path. It appears to be a Huana shrine. We'll search the surrounding area. And by that I mean a deer will. The area around the shrine is clear and may prove to be a good place to rest. Approach it and identify it. A pair of stone eels twist up the sculpture. Each eel's mouth clings to the other's tail, creating an unbroken circuit. It portrays Raku, the Huana's rendition of Barrow. An inscription runs along the shrine's base. Some flee, others fight. Rakaru consumes all. Pollen and dirt dust the statue, and grass grows wildly at its base. It seems some of the time since the shrine was tended. We're not going to desecrate it, we're just going to leave the shrine. If we desecrate it, Barrow would probably just kill me from fucking spite. Two of the Pokakahara ruins. Pokahara, yeah, Pokahara. Ah, fuck my life. Pokahara. There we go. And fuck you, Jyoti. You love. Wait, 1 minute. 1 minute. Fuck. 1 second. A deer. Also, something's wrong. We didn't bring the woman. Actually, we didn't bring What's-Her-Face, who I meant to bring with us. Fuck. I think I have to go all the way back to the ship. Yep. Gonna go quickly deal with this. We'll get on the ship. We'll go below deck, and I'm. Oh fuck! I still don't think we can level them up. Fuck's sake. We'll just level Seraphim up next time we use him. It's fine. Right. That's not the right order. Dismiss. Recruit. Right. Why are they in the wrong order? That really pisses me off. So we have 2 paladins this time. Right, so I've leveled up as well. Okay, so let's level me up. I'll get some yeah, I think like athletics is the only one, and athletics and intimidation are the only 2 I really care about for my character there. Actually, no. Let's give me some more enemies engaged. I was thinking of getting like a paladin ability, like one of the branded enemy or sworn. Actually, no. We're gonna go for that. Because it gives me a reason to use it in fight. So this one is Sworn Rival. If the rival is defeated, the zealot's cost is refunded. And Brand Enemy. While the brand lasts, the enemy will take burn damage over time. As much as I like the idea of retrieving the Zeal, that's way better. What weapon do I want to use? I'm going to go for poleaxe, which fight defensively with your poleaxe, trading damage for increased engagement. But unfortunately, John, we're going to have to level up everyone else in the next part. I hope you guys have enjoyed, but I'll see you guys next part. See you guys then.